What's up, YouTube? I've got another cut test for you guys today, and it will be with Kizer 154cm. I'm doing this cut test after I did the Asher S35vn cut test for a reason. In a lot of recommendations, I say that from the China companies, the China popular budget brands, to avoid their powder steels and only buy their budget steels. The reason I say that is because in most cases, like your 154cm from Kizer will outperform their S35vn easily. And that goes pretty much across the board for China companies. Yeah, I mean, like your WE 20CV is going to outcut this steel for sure. Your M390s and S90Vs, yeah, it's going to outcut this steel. Not by as much as you'd think, because typically those steels aren't done that great, but for some reason the China companies, and I believe it's so they hook you and get you to buy their product with the budget steels, and they do a really good job on them. And then when it comes to the more premium stuff, they don't do as good of a job. Maybe it's because they can't. Some of those steels are definitely harder to work with, harder to heat treat very consistently. D2, yeah, it is a pretty tough steel to heat treat for large production facilities, but they have it dialed in. Just for some reason, they do a better job on their budget steels than they do on their premium steels, and that goes pretty much across the board for all brands. Riot would probably be the only one that I say, does a consistently really good job on their powder steels. I wouldn't say great job, but I would say a good job. For companies like Kizer, QSP, so on and so forth, they definitely do a better job on their budget steels than they do their premium steels. I have not cut test this knife yet, so I don't know what it's going to score. But that S35 from Asher, I would say it may be a little worse than the average S35VN that comes out of China, but it's close. It's close to the average. Now, I would for sure say this this 154cm right here will at least come close to it, but I would almost bet money that it'll outperform it. I've used this knife a lot. I know about what it'll do. Now, not directly in this cut test, but just in general use. And by how nicely it sharpens on the stones, and just Kizer 154cm has done good in general. So I would be very surprised that if it don't outperform that S35 by quite a bit. I fully expect it to. And that goes right to why I say just go with, when you're buying from like Kizer, QSP, or whoever, if they have 154cm, get it. But stay away from their, especially their S35VN. It's just not done very good. So let's see what this thing can do. I'll cut test it real quick. This is 17 degrees per side. Finished on an Atoma 600, 5 passes per side, 1 micron on a diamond strop. So it's a really good edge, absolutely razor sharp, and I have no doubt that it's going to do quite well in this test. All right, so let's get to it. here are the results. And exactly why I say don't buy the powder steels and China knives. The budget steels are done way better. That Asher S35vn did 400 and something. Here 154cm did 700. And you know, this edge is still fantastic. It's just catching some. Actually, it's not catching there at all. There we go. Yeah, it's just one or two little teeny catches. Yeah. Just one or two little teeny catches. So, 700 feet, 702 feet out of Kizer 154cm. And it's exactly why I say, especially S35vn from China, it ain't worth the money. 154cm pretty much outperforms it in every single way, even from the China companies. I don't know, they just have they do a better heat treat quality. The heat treat quality on it's better. They run it at an optimal hardness. Typically, most companies do it. Definitely Kizer. QSP does theirs pretty decent too. Not as good as Kizer, but close. And then, you know, you're getting more performance out of an ingot steel that they're going to charge you significantly less for than you would S35vn specifically. I don't know. They just, China and S35vn, they haven't figured it out yet. It's not done very good. I mean, neither is their N3. Most of their steels aren't. There's a couple companies got it together. Riot does pretty good work. We and their 20CV, they're doing pretty decent work. Nothing spectacular, but decent. Pretty decent. And I'll go back and say it many times over. Kizer has their act together with their 154cm. They do a damn good job. You know, I've been on Reddit for years saying how great it's done, and for good reason. It's really done very, very good. It sharpens up beautifully. It strops back very nicely. Responds to a ceramic rod very good. You know, I can take this edge and within 30 seconds have it back to popping hair. Probably, you know, on a strop for sure. And if the strop won't bring it back to exactly how I wanted, a couple swipes across the ceramic rod and it's right back in business. Some 9 micron diamond on a strop and it would bring it right back to. So and even still, like right now, you know, after 700 feet, and you can see my cut area, so you can get it to focus. You can see the scratch on there, from there to right there. So, you know, roughly an inch, maybe slightly less. And that's still very, very, very sharp. Still lots of bite. The only thing is, there's just a teeny little catch, just enough to tear that paper. I feel 2 or 3 of them. But very, very small. On that S35vn, the catch after 400 and whatever feet, the catches were much bigger than they are on that 154cm at 700. That edge right there, well, I mean, yeah, the whole edge is great down here and up here because it ain't used, but this part of the edge right here where all the use is still sharper than probably 95% of people's knives. No, it won't shave. Well, no, you know what? Hell, it might. Let's see. Looking through the camera, I don't want to cut myself. No, it's not going to shave, but hold on 1 second. We'll just give it some basswood and diamond. Sorry, I'm trying to do this looking through a camera. It's not easy. I'm not trying to get a tip, just focusing on where I was doing cutting at. I believe it'll shave now. No, not quite. It's going to take a little more than that. It's almost shaving. Not quite, though. Yeah, it's almost shaving. Not trying to do a very nice dropping job, just trying to bring it back real quick. Looking through this camera and doing this is not easy, so I'm just trying to get a quick edge back on there, or bring the edge back real quick. That should do it. It should shave now. Yep. I mean, it's crudely shaving, but it's shaving.